more specifically on campuses, what sort of events do your groups have coming up, or and maybe you can just talk generally for people who don't know a lot about Young Americans for Liberty, what some of your key focuses are.
Yeah, so we are currently doing a lot of different projects throughout the Midwest. One of the biggest ones that we've been doing, and it's really in connection to this, is we've been doing a lot of Second Amendment events. We have what we just call our 2A kit. In these kits, we have come and take it flags, we have a lot of informational material on the Second Amendment and on gun statistics. So we can really begin to educate students on campus about gun rights and issues like constitutional carry. A lot of people seem to believe or have the belief that if we institute constitutional carry around the United States, that we're going to see some sort of Wild West. And that's simply not the case. We now have constitutional carry in several states around the U.S., and several of the states in which it's implemented are actually some of the safest states in our nation. So we'll go around, we have conversations with our students, we do tablings on campus, which is where we'll do outreach on the basis of the Second Amendment, and just talk directly to students about the Second Amendment and try to get them involved in our local group so that we can continue to further the message of liberty, educate and train them within our club, and then eventually hope to get them mobilized so that they can work on issues like this and help to get real legislation like constitutional carry passed in the state of Indiana.
And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about you talk about the Hazlitt Action Team, is that what it's called? There's
Yes,
something
sir.
called the Hazlitt Coalition that's related to that. I'll post this article in the links on Rumble and YouTube, but we just covered a member of the Hazlitt Coalition in Arizona who was working on campus carry. And can you tell people a little more about that? It's really quite an interesting kind of connection between you all are obviously more student focused, but then there's like in the political realm at state legislatures. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that coalition's about?
Yeah. And in 2018, we decided, we have all of these activists all across the country. We have hundreds of chapters. And these kids really want to, pursue some sort of career in politics. They want to be able to be politically effective and make the real change that they want to see in the world, but we don't currently have an avenue for them to do it. So in 2018, we launched what we called Operation Win at the Door. Now, this is separate from Young Americans for Liberty. It's our political action committee. It's a different arm, so a different legal entity. But essentially, we would go out, we would talk to these kids, talk to the college students, and get them to fill out an application, and then we would send it over to our political action committee. The political action committee would then work and hire these kids on the campaigns, and we would get them to work effectively on these campaigns in order to help get real liberty-minded legislators elected across the country. So when we launched the program in 2018, we had a goal of electing 250 liberty legislators across the country. I believe at this point we either have 182 or 183, and it's all because of the work that our students have done. We're a grassroots organization. That's what we are at our core. And without our students, without the work that they've put in, without the doors that they've knocked, without the phone calls that they've made, without the works that they've done in districts, we wouldn't be able to have this large coalition of legislators. So one of the main reasons constitutional carry passed wasn't even just because of the work that current students are doing. It's because of work students have been doing for the past 5 or 6 years. Whenever we started our Hazlitt Coalition, we started getting people elected in Indiana, and Kurt Nisley in Indiana is one person who's works with Young Americans for Liberty a lot, works with our Hazlitt Coalition a lot, and he has been pushing for constitutional carry since 2016. Then in 2020, we got a few more legislators elected, a man by the name of John Jacob, another person, Zach Payne, and Chris Jeter. And they've all been strong advocates for constitutional carry in the state of Indiana. So this is really, this is a student-led effort for years now, which has culminated finally in this policy getting passed. Not only did they put in the work on the ground in order to, knock the doors, make the phone calls in support of the bill, but they also helped to get the people elected who were some of the largest pushers for the bill. Without Kurt Nisley, John Jacobs, Zach Payne, and Chris Jeter, it's very much in question whether this bill has ever passed to begin with. So we have our students to thank for that, for the amount of work that they've put in, for the amount of constituents within the state of Indiana that they've talked to. And that's what we are. We're the grassroots organization that believes in implementing real political change.